Okay, we're back again. The second in the series is that so Bala.
Yep.
Last week you explained about you talked about mobility, flexibility, and stability.
Yep.
You know you did a demo of sorts with Anjali, and it was great.
Yep.
Stability and flexibility, I understand. That's a challenge that I'm going through. I know. So we all understand that. I mean, at least I understand. The one thing that I don't understand is like mobility.
Yep.
What is it? What is
How to
it?
understand mobility, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So Arvind, what we will do is let us get into the muscles now.
Yeah.
Because I always believe that you need to understand what is happening in your body, so that you can do other things superficially, so that you know why you're doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So, just English meaning of mobility is what? Moving. Right? You need to move. That means your muscle needs to push you forward.
Yes.
Like stability is muscle needs to keep you in the same position.
Yes.
Mobility is muscle needs to push you forward. So the question then is we need to understand how a muscle works to push you forward, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I always do a preface of I'm not a doctor.
Uh-huh.
So whatever I say, you take it like a coach trying to give a simplified explanation of what I understand in terms of from a running standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about muscles, I'm going to give it to you in two different sort of buckets of explanation, and I'll bring this two things together.
Uh-huh.
So if you think about muscles, Arvind, there are different types of muscles.
Yeah.
Let us focus on these type of muscles called skeletal muscles. That means these are the muscles that are connected to the bones, either through tendons or maybe directly. These are the muscles that pushes the bones, because mobility is what? Your bone is moving, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Muscles are not moving. Muscle is making the bone move.
Okay.
Right? When you're running, it's the foot, the bones that are actually moving, right?
Yeah.
So the muscle is trying to push the bones forward or backwards or whatever is the case may be.
Yeah.
So the skeletal muscles are the muscles that does this job of pushing the muscle. So that is the first sort of point I wanted to say.
Okay.
The second point I wanted to talk about muscles is that muscles always act in pairs. What I mean by that is, for every motion that needs to take place, there is a set of muscles that contracts.
Yeah.
And there are a set of muscles that expands. Both at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's how the sort of the muscle acts.
We can run, long run.
Wonderful. Hi, good. All our runners are running right now. Hey guys. A lot of our RHWB runners are running in this place, so it's so nice to see them.
Yeah.
So there are a certain set of muscles that are contracting, there are a certain set of muscles that are expanding.
Yeah.
This needs to act in tandem for a motion to take place. So keep that as a second point. We'll stitch it all of these things together.
Okay.
The third one about muscles is think about a spring. Okay?
Yeah.
You've seen a spring, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, when you compress a spring, what is happening? Some energy is stored in the spring.
Yes.
And when you release the compression, what happens? It sort of moves forward, right?
Yeah.
Our muscles acts exactly in the same way. When you contract a muscle, it sort of stores some energy, and when you release the contraction, it sort of the energy gets released.
Yeah.
Right? That's literally think of our muscles as springs. So in spring, if you think about it, the larger the muscle, the larger the spring, more will be the force, right?
Yeah.
Right? Larger the spring diameter is huge.
Yes.
Then when you compress that, and it will just maybe throw you into the air, literally, if the spring is big, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Likewise, larger the muscle,
Yeah.
larger can be the force. That's why we are trying to develop muscles, right? Increase the size of the muscle.
Yes.
Secondly, larger the compression, more is the force.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yeah. So that's true.
Correct? Like if you compress it even more, then it will give more force.
Yes.
The compression is done by the neuromuscle connection. So the larger the neuromuscle connection, like if it is able to activate it better, the muscle can compress a lot more. So if you put all of these things together, let's say you have a body. Let's say you have a body which has got very big skeletal muscles. That means a very large spring.
Yeah.
And let us say in the same body, you are able to have a neuromuscular connection that is able to send powerful signals, and all these signals are absorbed by the muscles, and hence it gets compressed.
Yeah.
Let's say that is what is happening, and let us assume that these muscles are nicely connected to the bone, then what happens?
Yeah.
The best body will send a powerful signal.
Yeah.
This powerful signal goes to a large muscular mass, and these large muscular mass gets compressed on one side.
Yeah.
On the other side, there are muscle which is kind of on the running in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So when the motion starts to take place, boom, this expands, that one compresses,
Yeah.
it gives you the mobility, and the bone starts moving.
Yeah.
This is what is running, guys.
Okay.
This is what is the musculoskeletal portion of our training.
Wow. Okay.
Or in other words,
Uh-huh.
for us to do mobility, just even if you haven't understood anything I said,
Yeah.
for us to be good in mobility, the three things that you need to be really good at
Yeah.
is one, ability to have a bigger spring. That means have larger set of muscles. Two, ability to make sure your brain muscle connection is working really well, so that the compression takes place correctly. And three, ability to have both muscles act at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, that means if one muscle is getting compressed, there's another set of muscle is getting expanded, so there is that, that rotation movement, and hence the bone moves.
Okay.
Why the third part is very important is, let's talk about your legs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your legs. Look at me first. Let's talk about your legs.
Wait.
Let's talk about it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't move forward. Just stay there for a second.
I just want to show you the full.
Yeah, let's start about this.
Yeah.
When you are running, right,
Yeah.
the front part of your muscles
Yeah.
are getting expanded. You know which is the muscle that is getting contracted at that time?
Yeah.
You know what's the muscle which is getting contracted at that time? When you are running, the front part of the muscle gets expanded, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That means when you're putting a step forward,
Yes.
the quadricep expands.
Yes.
You know which is the muscle that contracts? Think about it. Just logically, if you think about it. There are two muscles that needs to expand, contract, no?
Yeah.
Your butt muscle contracts.
The glute. Yeah.
So, or in other words, if your glute is not working,
Yeah.
just think about it. Your glute is not working,
it's not gonna
one
work.
muscle is expanding, another muscle is not contracting,
Yeah.
and hence you are inefficient in running.
Yes.
Come back to my glute strength again.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is why, guys, running happens at the glutes, people say.
Yeah.
Because most of our glutes go to sleep because we keep sitting.
Yeah.
So if you are able to do strength exercises properly, your muscle gets bigger.
Yeah.
If you're doing strides well, nerve muscle connection gets better.
Yeah.
And if you're able to power your glutes, then you are able to have sort of a cantilever, the couple force on
Yeah.
both sides, and hence mobility happens. Just one way of explaining
Beautiful.
mobility.
Beautiful. All right. Okay. We'll turn this one off.
Yes, and we'll see you in the next message, guys.